With us now, John Walsh, also our senior correspondent, John Miller, a former FBI assistant director. Welcome to you both. So, John Walsh, before your show, did people even have a sense of this? I mean, how did you see things change?
Well, Fox approached me in 1987 and said, would you like to host the first reality television show modeled after Crime Watch UK, done by the BBC in England, on a brand new one-night network called Fox, owned by a man named Rupert Murdoch? I went, no thank you. I don't know anything about TV. Who's Rupert Murdoch? What is reality TV? And they said, well, we have one little hit with a guy named Johnny Depp, a struggling musician. And, so I agreed to do it because after 6 months, a child killer was the first guy they wanted to do, David James Roberts. I'll never forget it. FBI top 10 guy who escaped from 5 life sentences, raped 27 women, and murdered 4 children. My wife said, this is what we do. Go do it, John. And that started America's Most Wanted.
And when did you realize that your show had a huge impact?
All the TV critics said it won't work, it'll fail, it's the father of a murdered child host, untried, it's never been done before. 3 days after the first show aired in February of '88, we nailed David James Roberts, sociopathic murderer. Guess what he was doing for a living? Running a shelter for the homeless on Staten Island while he was on the FBI's top 10. Then the show was a hit and we launched.
John Miller, and from the law enforcement perspective, it really did change things, didn't it?
It was unique, and it was a boon for the law enforcement business. In the FBI, one of the divisions that was under my control was investigative publicity and public affairs.
Right.
There's a dozen people who sit around every day trying to figure out how can we get the face of this bad guy out in front of the public. And, you know, that's, well, you put them on the wall of the post office.
Right.
This was before the internet really had
There was no vehicle like this out there before this.
And this came along and it changed the whole business. We could say, we want this guy bad. We could say, let's line it up with America's Most Wanted. And plus, that was in normal people we were looking for a long time. 17 top 10 fugitives. I mean, aside from the hundreds of others, 17 of the 10 most wanted captured just off tips from this show. But there were cases like the murder of Everett Hatcher, a DEA agent, where they would just stop everything and do the whole show on that one case and really give us the kind of push we couldn't get.
So, John Walsh, and given even that record, your show has been canceled. So what's next?
Well, I have a pilot with Lifetime. They've been very nice to me, and I've wanted to reach out to my friend Jeff Zucker at CNN. We've caught guys off of 45 in 45 countries. I've worked with Interpol. Whether I host it or I don't host it, whoever does it, it needs to be done. We've caught 1,200 fugitives, brought home 60 missing kids. I think it's a great use of television, and I hope it continues because I've been there. Took 27 years to solve my son's case. I know what it's like to be frustrated and not get justice. We had great success on our internet, caught 40 guys off the internet in the last 2 years. I think it is something that needs to be on television because we really are the court of last resort.
John Walsh, good luck. Thank you very much for being here this morning, and John Miller as well.